WCMB, it's 47 degrees in Battle Creek, 42 in Grand Rapids. You're on the air, Conversation with an Atheist. Let's get to our first caller today. Kyle, you're on the line.
Yeah, hey, Tom. I really believe that, Christians can't say that their truth is the only truth.
Okay. Why do you say that, Kyle?
Well, there's just so many truths in the world, so many things that people can believe about truth. How can one group claim that they have the only truth?
Now, are you saying that your statement about no Christians knowing the truth is true?
Yeah, essentially that's what I'm saying. I mean, no person can say that what they believe is true, including and especially the Christians.
Okay, then can I ask you a different question?
Yeah, of course.
Do you believe in logic and reasoning?
Well, of course I do. I mean, that's the reason why I'm calling. I mean, I want people to understand how unreasonable it is for one person to say that their God is the only God and say that that is the only truth.
Well, then, by your very logic, your statement about no one person having the ability to know truth is, in fact, not true.
Yeah, I don't know. How do you figure?
If you believe that truth cannot be known by one person or group of people, then truth cannot be known by any person or group of people, including you. One cannot say truth is unknowable and then say they have the truth, for their very truth is defeated within itself.
Okay, well, I'm not saying that I have the truth per se. I'm just saying that Christians don't have the truth.
Don't you see, Kyle? You saying that Christians don't have the truth is a statement of truth. If you're saying that you don't have the truth, then how can you say in truth that Christians or anyone for that matter does not have the truth?
Yeah, I guess I don't know.
Yeah, thanks for calling in, Kyle. The thing is, most people need to understand that in order to begin a conversation about God, we must have a conversation about truth and whether or not it can be known. Let's get to another caller. Seth, you're on the line today. Conversation with an Atheist?
Yes. I'm having a hard time believing in divine design. I don't believe that God created the universe.
Okay, now why do you not believe in divine design?
I just don't believe God created the universe.
Okay, why don't you believe that God created the universe?
There's no evidence that proves that God created the universe.
Now, what if I were to tell you, Seth, that there was scientific evidence that the universe was created or designed by a designer?
What is this evidence you speak of?
Now, have you heard of the teleological argument?
No, I haven't.
Okay, the teleological argument goes like this. Every design had a designer. The universe has a highly complex design. Therefore, the universe had a designer.
All right, but that does not prove that God created the universe.
Well, really it does, with more good science. Let us back up for a minute. The cosmological argument, it states that everything that had a beginning had a cause. We can all agree with that. The universe had a beginning. Therefore, the universe had a cause. Are you still with me, Seth?
Yes.
Now that we have the cosmological argument as a foundation, let us build on top of the foundation with the teleological argument. As we stated, the universe had a beginning. To silence critics, there is no scientific evidence to prove the Big Bang Theory. Science has proven that the universe had a beginning. Even scientist Isaac Newton marveled at the design of the universe. If the universe had a beginning, every beginning has a cause. So the universe has a cause, which is to sustain life. We have a cause and a design, right, Seth?
I'll agree for now.
Okay, since we have a cause and a design, the next logical step is to have a designer who designed the complex design. A design cannot develop out of nothing. Since there is no evidence of the Big Bang Theory, the only logical or sound reasoning concludes that the universe had a designer. Since the universe has such a complex design, it would require a supernatural, intelligent designer, which points to God. Do you follow me, Seth?
I follow you, but I still don't believe that God created the universe.
You choose not to believe that God did not create the universe. As stated, there is no scientific evidence to support the Big Bang Theory and evolution. Your problem with divine design, the cosmological and teleological argument, is that you do not want to believe they are true. No amount of evidence or proof will change your mind if your mind is not open to new ideas and possibilities. Thanks for calling in, Seth. Taking another caller, Marilyn, you're on the line.
I just have to say that it's so obvious that we evolved from simple organisms. Anyone in their right mind knows that life started from a single-celled organism. It had to come from somewhere. Obviously, it started at its earliest age, somewhere long ago in a warm, suitable swamp, ready to create life out of nothing. But all the right chemicals and all the right conditions.
Well, let me ask you this, Marilyn. If you saw a note on your kitchen table and the note read, Marilyn, take out the trash, signed Mom, who would you think wrote that note?
What do you mean?
Simply, who would you assume wrote the note?
Okay, if I saw a note from my mom in the kitchen, I'd wonder what my mom was doing at my house asking me to take out the trash, first of all. But I would assume that it was from her.
Agreed. Now think of this simple one-celled organism that we're talking about.
Okay.
That organism is hardly simple. That single-celled amoeba has a complex letter written inside itself.
I see where you're going with this, and I disagree.
You disagree that DNA is a complex code?
No.
Okay, so that's all I'm saying. The code in that amoeba, in its DNA, is a complex message, right?
Yes, that's right.
Well, that code is so complex, Marilyn, that its code, like a letter, that, by the way, contains a specific message, like that letter from your mom to take out the trash, well, that code has enough information to fill not just a page, not just a book, but 1,000 complete sets of the Encyclopedia Britannica.
Whoa.
And Marilyn, I'm saying not just a random letter, but a code in a very specific order filling 1,000 sets of encyclopedias. How's that for a simple life form?
I'd say you've got a point.
The letter in that code, like the encyclopedias, like the letter to take out the trash, was written. What we know about a letter, what we know about books, is that they were written by someone. If I throw a piece of paper in some warm swamp somewhere, about all I'll get is a wet, warm piece of paper. There has to be another answer. Someone wrote that letter, someone with intelligence. I really like the conversations we're having today. It's Conversation with an Atheist. Yeah, Connor, you're on the line.
Yeah, hey, thanks, Tom. I believe that, a new species just arrives based on adaptability or a need in the atmosphere, honestly.
Interesting. But have you heard of cyclical change?
No, I haven't heard of that. What is it?
Well, this is where changes are not directional toward the creation of new life forms, but they simply shift back and forth within a limited range.
Do you mean that the known changes to birds like finches where their beaks change in size and shape in order to adapt to their climate has nothing to do with the creation of a new species?
Well, my point is that an animal, like a bird, can change to adapt to environment, weather, and such, but that genetic changes are limited. But new life forms never came into existence. Only the existing life forms were modified.
Yeah, but once the species is fully developed, it doesn't need to reproduce, and the universe knows that.
This natural selection cannot explain how finches came into existence in the first place. It does explain the survival of the species, but not the arrival of it. Don't you agree, Connor?
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I don't know that I agree with it, though.
Well, basically, when it comes down to it, we have a choice to make. Whether you choose to agree that God created the universe or that something came out of nothing, it's still your choice to make. You have to look at the evidence, and you have to be willing to keep an open mind about what the truth is. Put your emotions and volitions aside for just a minute. We don't all agree with the concept in today's show. However, what it comes down to is that truth is truth, and it can all be known. There is a message in the universe. That message had to be written by someone with intelligence, a divine designer. Thanks for being a part of the conversation today. You're listening to Conversation with an Atheist on WCMB.